Welcome back. If you've just joined us, you are tuned into the Mid Morning Show with myself, Nafisa Dango, and we're in conversation with so many relative educative topics this morning. And if you've missed out on them, you're welcome to look at our podcasts later. But we're going to be chatting to a very interesting individual. Let me tell you a little bit about her. Her name is Amina Vakiat. She did her undergraduate in physiotherapy and her master's in pediatric physiotherapy. Thereafter, spent a year studying Quranic Arabic at Darul Naim Institute in Cape Town, and that was in 2017. And then she went to Istanbul to be a part of the Al Medina Subur program and furthered her studies in Arabic and Islamic studies. She's a mother of two energetic and spirited boys. And after a very challenging breastfeeding journey, she decided to do a postgraduate diploma in lactation through WITS and completed her training as a lactation consultant in 2020. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. A very warm welcome to you, and thank you so much for joining us on the Mid Morning Show with myself, Nafisa Dango.
Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Thank you so much for letting me be on the show, Nafisa.
It's an absolute pleasure. Very interesting topic, I think, which is so important to be discussed, but never just gets touched on in a hurry. And this is why we thought this morning we'd discuss it and bring it to the fore. And we're talking about breastfeeding and the importances of breastfeeding. A lot of the times, new mums tend to do it for a bit and then realize, oh no, I don't think it's beneficial. Let me just put the little one onto the bottle. Let's talk about firstly your studies and what it meant. What made you actually get involved to study lactation?
I think I always knew that I wanted to breastfeed, but going through the journey, it was just really difficult. And then I didn't know that there was a thing such as a lactation consultant. And when I found out that there was a profession like that, I was like, I'm going to study that. And so then when I was studying, I was like, oh, I wish I knew this when I was feeding my kids. And it would have just made the journey a lot more pleasant and enjoyable. So
Yeah, no,
that's how it
I
got started.
agree with you. And I mean, I didn't even think there was, such a course available until the team actually gave me your information, and I was like, lactation. It's very interesting. Let's talk about the benefits of breastfeeding and what it means. For the baby itself, because I think in many instances, moms tell themselves, I think it's easier and faster to just, go and make a bottle, feed the child, and get done with it, but not realizing the benefits of breastfeeding.
So definitely there's benefits of breastfeeding for the baby, there's benefits for the mom, and there's benefits for society in the whole. So I always used to I tell my moms to keep a list of the benefits nearby so that when the journey becomes a bit challenging and you want to give up, just look at the benefits and then you'd want to continue. So the benefits for the baby is that babies who are breastfed have less ear infections, less upper respiratory infections, less prone to obesity. And breast milk in itself contains ingredients that aren't found in formula. So there's so many benefits. One of the most important benefits of breast milk is the immune benefit it plays for the baby to fight off infections. And for the benefits for the mom, lots of moms don't know that there's benefits for them. So it decreases the risk of osteoporosis, decreases the risk of type 2 diabetes in the mom. And for society in the whole is that there's less pollution. It's more of a natural way of feeding the babies. So yeah, there's lots of benefits.
Yeah, that's very interesting because I think, like you say, we don't realize the amount of benefits that come with it until now that you brought it to the fore. What are the most common early challenges mums face when it comes to this?
Okay, so the biggest one is painful breastfeeding. Second would be low milk supply or perceived low milk supply. Number three would be engorgement. And number four would be a sleepy baby. And actually, most of the issues that moms have in terms of the painful painful breastfeeding or the low milk supply could actually just be corrected by correcting the latch of the baby. So for most of my classes, and whenever I see a mom in the hospital, it's always like the latch, the latch. And once you correct the latch, there's so much benefit in all of alleviating all of those problems that most moms do find during those early days.
And I think it's something fairly new to them. So, like you're saying, it's nice that to know that you go out there and you know basically help them get through the situation, because being a new mom, everything is so fairly new, and having to try and understand. And
Yes,
as you're saying, I mean, the latching on is the
yes.
most important thing. For a new mom, she wouldn't actually understand that unless she's been taught how to do it.
Yes, and also what I found is that most moms think that they're the only ones going through it. So whenever I see a mom, they're like, "Does anybody else have these issues as well?" I'm like, everybody has issues with breastfeeding. So whether you're first time mom or second time mom, it's don't feel like you shouldn't be reaching out for help. It's just like reach out for help and get it sorted so that the issues don't escalate into something more serious that would make you want to stop the journey.
Yeah. What's interesting is like a lot of moms will say, you know, when you speak to them, oh, why should I sit and breastfeed? It takes so long. It's easier for me to just take the formula, mix it, put it in a bottle and give it to the little one. What would you say is the difference between the two so that people understand the benefit of it?
Okay, so as a disclaimer, I would say that there is a role for formula. So if moms are unable to breastfeed for maybe some health reasons, or maybe if the baby's not gaining weight, or there's some issues that the baby needs to be separated from the mom, then it's not poison. Formula isn't poison, but once we understand what breast milk actually is, it makes moms a lot more eager to breastfeed their baby. So breast milk is a living substance. So it has these cells and stem cells and this living substance that is going to provide this baby with the benefits of having a living substance. So when I say living substance, is that this breast milk changes its constituency in the morning compared to the evening, at the beginning of the feed compared to the end of the feed, if the baby is sick, if so it has different hormones in it that changes all the time to help the baby sleep better and fight off infections. So it's that human milk, it's a living substance, and there's constituents in the breast milk that
Mm,
some
mm.
of them you don't find in formula, like human milk oligosaccharides and stuff like that. You wouldn't find that in formula. So maybe some moms do need to use the formula, and that's totally fine. But basically, what lactation consultants are saying is that we need to move the formula from the grocery cupboard into the medicine cupboard for those few that actually do need to use it.
Right. Let's talk about recognizing when the baby's actually drinking milk, because a lot of the times you'll think, okay, the baby's fed and then it's done, and then the little baby gets up again because you know they're not full. How does one mom that's fairly new at doing this? How would she recognize that?
Okay, so in the early days, the best way of knowing whether the baby's getting milk is whether the baby has energy. So the baby will feed, go to sleep, and the baby needs to be able to wake up for the next feed. So in the first month, the baby that sleeps a lot isn't. You don't really want that, the baby that's sleeping the whole day. You want them to be able to wake up and complete a feed. So the energy levels. And number two, and monitoring the diaper output. So we've got these diagrams that we give to moms to say, okay, it's day one, how many pee diapers, how many poo diapers, day two, how many, and then from day five onwards, you're expecting about five wet diapers and about 3 to 4 full stool diapers. And so basically that's the beginning. And then later on, if the moms are really worried about whether the baby is um, taking in milk, is you can do test weights. So you could
Mm.
monitor them weekly on a baby scale to find out whether the baby's taking in the milk, and also hearing the baby swallow. So we sometimes teach the moms to say, okay, this is what it sounds like. So when the baby's swallowing milk, this is what it sounds like, and then you know that the baby's taking in the milk.
Right. Okay, we're going to go for a quick ad break. We'll be back with you in a minute.
5 days a year? You can with the Al Imdad Foundation's Daily Sadaqah program. Donate as little as R1 a day for a month for each member of your family, up to any specified amount, and receive monthly feedback on where your contributions have made a difference. Visit alimdad.com and download your Daily Sadaqah debit order form or call 0861 786 243 for more information.
Kids these days are smart, and when you're competing for their attention against their smartphones, you need to make smart choices, like using Sunfoil triple refined pure sunflower oil in every meal you make. It's naturally cholesterol-free and approved by the Heart and Stroke Foundation as part of a balanced eating plan. So whether you're cooking, frying, or baking, you get the great tasting results that'll get their attention faster than the latest app. And if that doesn't work, change the Wi-Fi password. Sunfoil. Now we're cooking.
Alhamdulillah, we are finally free of riba. Barakat smells lovely.
Yeah, with Yakin, I managed to stop all the riba, Hajo. Ach, this insurance price is going up again.
Oh, we are not free of riba, Babu. You need to stop the insurance.
We have to have insurance, Hajo. You know how bad it is with all the crime and the accidents.
Have a little yakin now, Babu.
Yeah, man, I do have a little yakin. But I wish there was a way to leave all these riba insurance companies, man. It's my riba.
Babu, I can't handle this. The stench. It stinks.
Is that my underarms?
No, the riba stinks. Please find a way to stop this riba insurance, Babu.
Leaving riba insurance is easier than you think. Call Amana IFS for all your personal and commercial takaful needs. 0861 786 393. Amana, leave riba for good. Amana IFS is a registered financial services provider.
Add a sprinkling of sparkles to your magical parties and special occasions with colorful party supplies and decorations to a wide range of baking goods and tools. Packaging from gift bags to meat bags, foil and polystyrene containers, elegant serviettes and intimate candles to disposable wet wipes. A range of glassware, bakeware and stunning wedding accessories just for you. Wholesale packaging available. Sprinkles and Sparkles Party Shop. You want it all. Find us at 431 Inanda Road, Parlock, Durban. Call 031 577 0604. Our operating hours are weekdays from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m., weekends and public holidays from 9 a.m. to 2 p.m. Follow us on Instagram at Spring and Spark.
Africa. As the crisis in Palestine continues, the Africa Muslims Agency teams are on the ground facilitating emergency food and medical assistance to the affected families. Donate 15,000 rand or any amount and help the people of Palestine. Call AMA now on 083-251-9376 or donate online at africamuslimsagency.co.za. Africa Muslims Agency, inspiring the spirit of giving.
Listen to something fresh. Listen to Salam Media, your humanitarian broadcaster.
Welcome back to the show, and we're in conversation with Amina Vakiat, and she's a lactation consultant. She's talking to us about the importance of breastfeeding and what it means for the baby and what sort of benefits you can get out of it. Amina, let's talk about the foods we eat. A lot of the times, new moms, there's so many foods that need to be avoided because that particular food that we're eating is going into that breast milk and then affecting the baby in turn. So what sort of advice would you give moms on that type of nutrition and, should we say, diet that they need to follow to be able to give the baby and themselves the best benefit?
Okay, so from a medical point of view, there's no real diet that the mother needs to be following. So they would say, you could eat anything unless the baby has a cow milk protein allergy, then you would have to stay away from dairy. But the cow milk protein allergy would be diagnosed by a professional, healthcare professional. But in our community, we have a very awesome tradition of huawar. And the mums and the grannies, they take it quite seriously. So when I go in to see an Indian family, I'm very wary about stepping on the moms and the nannies and the grandmothers' toes. So I say, like, whatever, if someone going to be helping you to look after the baby, then and if they're telling you to eat a certain foods, then maybe just take it for about those 40 days, and then you can decide. But
Yes.
there's, from a medical point of view, there's no real foods that you need to stay away from. But what some research is showing now is that if the baby is diagnosed as colic, and there has been shown to be benefit in moms following a low FODMAP diet, but I would advise the moms to go to a dietitian to find out about low FODMAP foods. And also, what's good to include in mom's diet is um, a fish meal every week, just to include the omega-3s and the DHA, which helps with the baby's brain development, to include some leafy or colorful vegetables for the oxidative qualities, and foods with eggs, they help with amino acids in the breast milk. So
Okay.
and
Let's talk
also
about
to
this.
avoid
Yeah, let's talk about Umi 101. You're having a particular discussion on classes for mums, and what sort of
Yes.
things that they can expect as new mums, and what is it that they can do. So basically, I think it's a really amazing cause, because what it does is it gives the mum a holistic idea of what needs to be done, and it prepares them for what they have to look forward to.
Yes, so I'm very excited. What most moms, when we speak to them, they will say, "Oh, I wish I had known this, or I wish I'd known that." And what we found, that there was a lack in the Muslim community for antenatal classes to prepare you with quite a variety of subjects. So we've included in our guest list of speakers Sister Fatima Bam, and she's done an amazing workshop set up on positive birthing, how to prepare for the actual birthing process. And she had 3 amazing natural births. And then we have Sister Sakina Nusarka, who's a life coach, and Nusarka Lambada, and she's a life coach, and to help moms with that transition from being without baby to being with baby. We've got Dr. Amira Adam, who's a gynae from Cape Town, and she's done beautiful work on embryology in the Quran. And Sister Roshan Musbah, she just returned from Tarim, and she has amazing advice about parenting. And then it got me about breastfeeding, and also as a physio about strengthening post baby, how to encourage development in the baby. And then we've got Appa Habiba Peck, who's touching on the fiqh postpartum. And so quite interesting and awesome lineup starting. So it's a series of 3 webinars starting from the 2nd of October on Saturday mornings from 9 to 12.
I think it's an amazing concept, because the thing is, you're touching literally on the whole holistic idea of what a mum needs to know, which I think is so pertinent, because a lot of the times, like you say, they depend on family members and the older generation to be able to, should we say, ready themselves from beforehand in order for them to be able to fall into place once they've given birth. But I think the concept of this is absolutely amazing, because what it does is it prepares you from the word go, from the time when you're giving birth right through to the end, with the antenatal classes and what to expect and what to do with baby and those sort of things. So I love the idea, and I'm hoping that people tap into these webinars that are taking place on those particular dates. Or where would they find more information on it?
You can see on my Instagram handle. Yes, I finally got Instagram. So liquid gold underscore Josie. Liquid gold underscore Josie. And we've got the posters up there. Or you can contact me on my cell phone. I can give my details as well. And we can chat about it. Any questions that might be arising.
Yeah, and I think it's important for new mums to be, and of course new mums to get involved with this, so that it gives them a better direction of things and a better perspective from a holistic point of view, as I said earlier, because they're learning a little bit of everything, so they have their own readiness besides, of course, the support structure from their family members, which I think is absolutely phenomenal. What message would you like to leave our viewers with today, as far as breastfeeding is concerned, and of course the cause itself?
So I would love moms to know that Yes, breastfeeding is natural, and but if you prepare yourself a little bit, it's not as daunting as it might seem. And there's such an amazing benefit and relationship that you can get through the breastfeeding of your children. So I also want moms to know that there is services out there to help you, whether it's with the lactation or the birthing or the life coaching afterwards. That always try and reach out if you feel like you're not coping in any of these spheres.
I love the idea because the thing is, at least now there's a support structure, an added support structure besides family members. And you know, as we say, as time goes by, things get more advanced, and people like yourselves are tapped into that. So it's nice to be able to share that knowledge with the new moms. So it kind of makes the transition from being, you know, a new mom actually easier.
And what we also say is that, you know, appreciate the family is one of the main factors for recovery post birth, is that supportive family. And that, and just so we'll take it with both sides. It will be the professionals on one side and the family as one side, and we just want moms to feel supported in that postpartum period and during their pregnancy.
Wow, I mean, I'm sure all new moms to be are definitely going to be looking forward to those webinars. And as you said, you did give us the address, and I'm hoping that they go and they register for it so that they can get holistically involved and so that they were really ready, prepared for it. Jazakallah so much for joining us. What last message would you like to leave us with this morning?
Enjoy your Heritage Day and let's be proudly South African.
I look forward to that. Most definitely. You couldn't have said it better. You enjoy it as well with your family. Jazakallah so much for enlightening us on a topic that we didn't think was so important. And should we say that you have bridged the gap for us where new moms are now actually having that added spinal cord and support structure besides their family members. So thank you so much. You take care. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Wa alaikum salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
That was Amina Vakiat giving us a better idea on Umi 101. It's a webinar that's going to be giving you a holistic environment on, of course, prenatal and postnatal classes on how to be well prepared to be a first-time mom. So go and have a look at that. It's very interesting. For me, time is starting to run out as usual. I want to leave you with something that I think COVID has taught us from 2020. So I'm going to call it lessons from 2020. It's something that I've read, and it says, the world can change quickly. Friends matter greatly. Alone and lonely are different. Hope matters. Learn from the past. The small moments are beautiful. Kindness is a great gift. Optimism is priceless. Be grateful for family. Heroes truly exist, and we're talking about our frontline workers. Give back generously. Never stop trying. Reach out to those you love. Live with bravery. And I think that's so important because COVID-19 has taught us to be brave. It has taught us to face our challenges head on. And it has also taught us to adapt. And that's what it's all about. I want to thank you so much for joining us today on a show that has, of course, hopefully educated you on many relative topics that pertain to our everyday lives. And we look forward to chatting to you next week, same time, same place. For myself, Nafisa Dango, and the team, have a lovely long weekend and a safe one. Assalamu alaikum